Jacob Fatu just gave wrestling fans one of the most unexpected and heartwarming moments of the year when cameras caught him backstage with none other than the Boogeyman, and the internet absolutely lost its mind over what went down between these two larger-than-life performers. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do it now because you're going to want to see where this story goes. The footage shows these two powerhouses sharing laughs, exchanging stories, and connecting in a way that reminds everyone why professional wrestling is so much more than just what happens inside the ring. The moment happened during a recent WWE event where Jacob Fatu was making his rounds backstage, and out of nowhere comes the Boogeyman, one of the most unique and terrifying characters in wrestling history. What made this encounter special wasn't just the surprise of seeing these two together, but the genuine warmth and mutual respect that radiated from both men as they greeted each other like old friends reuniting after years apart. Jacob Fatu, the powerhouse member of the Bloodline who has been tearing through the WWE roster with devastating moves and an intimidating presence, showed a completely different side of himself in this interaction. The man who strikes fear into opponents every time he steps through those ropes was grinning from ear to ear, clearly excited to be in the presence of the Boogeyman. Their conversation flowed naturally, with both wrestlers trading stories and clearly enjoying every second of their time together. The Boogeyman, who made his mark in WWE with his bizarre entrances, clock-eating antics, and genuinely unsettling character work, looked just as thrilled to be reconnecting with Fatu. Despite retiring from regular in-ring competition years ago, the Boogeyman still commands respect throughout the wrestling world for his commitment to his character and his willingness to do whatever it took to entertain the fans. His influence on the business extends far beyond his own matches, inspiring countless performers to fully commit to their characters no matter how outlandish they might seem. What caught everyone's attention was how comfortable and at ease both men appeared with each other. There was no posturing, no trying to maintain kayfabe, just two professionals who clearly have history together sharing a genuine moment of connection. The way they embraced and laughed together spoke volumes about the bonds that form between wrestlers who understand the sacrifices and dedication required to make it in this business. Jacob Fatu has been one of the most talked about additions to WWE in recent memory, bringing his incredible athleticism and hard-hitting style to the biggest stage in professional wrestling. His journey to WWE was long and filled with challenges, working his way up through independent promotions and making a name for himself as one of the most exciting big men in the entire industry. When he finally arrived in WWE as part of the Bloodline, fans knew they were witnessing something special, a performer who could do things that men his size simply shouldn't be able to do. The Boogeyman's career was built on taking risks and pushing boundaries in ways that made audiences uncomfortable in the best possible way. He ate worms, he smashed clocks over his head, he crawled to the ring in ways that made people's skin crawl, and he did it all with complete commitment. His matches weren't always technical masterpieces, but they were always entertaining, always memorable in their own right, and always left an impression on anyone who witnessed them. The connection between these two performers goes deeper than just being in the same business. Both men have had to overcome doubts and skepticism about whether their particular styles would work on the biggest stages. Both have faced questions about whether they were too different, too intense, too unconventional to succeed in mainstream wrestling. And both proved every single doubter wrong by staying true to themselves and delivering performances that resonated with audiences. Watching them interact backstage revealed something important about the wrestling business that fans don't always get to see. Behind the characters, behind the storylines, behind all the drama and competition, there exists a community of performers who support each other and celebrate each other's successes. The respect Jacob Fatu showed the Boogeyman wasn't just politeness, it was genuine admiration for someone who paved the way for unique performers to find their place in WWE. The footage shows them discussing various aspects of the business, with the Boogeyman seemingly offering advice and encouragement to the younger star. Despite their different career paths and the different eras they represent, the conversation flowed effortlessly between them. Fatu listened intently to everything the Boogeyman had to say, clearly valuing the wisdom and experience that comes from someone who has been through the wars of professional wrestling. Social media erupted when this footage started making the rounds online. Fans from all corners of the wrestling world chimed in with their reactions, with most people commenting on how refreshing it was to see such a genuine interaction. In an era where so much of what we see is carefully scripted and controlled, these unguarded moments remind us that real relationships and real respect exist behind the scenes. The timing of this reunion couldn't be better for Jacob Fatu, who has been establishing himself as a dominant force in WWE but also showing that he's more than just a powerful enforcer. These glimpses into his personality outside of his intimidating ring presence help fans connect with him on a deeper level. They see that behind the war paint and the aggressive wrestling style, there's a person who respects the history of the business and the performers who came before him. For the Boogeyman, moments like these prove that his impact on wrestling extends far beyond his active years in the ring. The fact that current stars like Jacob Fatu light up when they see him demonstrates the lasting impression he made on the industry. His willingness to be completely different, to embrace the weird and the strange, opened doors for other performers to take creative risks with their characters. The wrestling community thrives on these kinds of connections between generations. When veterans and current stars share these moments, it creates a sense of continuity and tradition that enriches the entire business. Young fans get to learn about performers they might not have known about, while older fans get the satisfaction of seeing their favorites still respected and remembered by the current generation of talent. Jacob Fatu's journey in WWE is still being written, but moments like this show that he understands the bigger picture of what it means to be a professional wrestler. It's not just about wins and losses, not just about championship reigns and main events. It's about the relationships you build, the respect you earn from your peers, and the way you carry yourself when the cameras aren't focused on you during a match. The Boogeyman may not be competing regularly anymore, but his presence backstage at WWE events serves as a reminder of the wild creativity that has always been part of professional wrestling. His character was proof that sometimes the most unconventional ideas can work if you commit to them completely. That lesson isn't lost on performers like Jacob Fatu, who bring their own unique energy and style to everything they do. This backstage encounter also highlights how WWE has evolved to appreciate different types of performers. There was a time when someone like the Boogeyman might have been dismissed as too outlandish, when someone like Jacob Fatu might have been told he was too big to do the high-flying moves he regularly performs. But both men found success by being authentically themselves, and that authenticity created connections with audiences that transcended traditional wrestling formulas. The warmth of their interaction touched fans because it felt real in a business where so much is performance. These two men from different backgrounds, different eras, and different styles of wrestling found common ground in their shared love for the business and their mutual respect for what each has accomplished. That's the kind of moment that reminds everyone why they fell in love with wrestling in the first place. As Jacob Fatu continues his run in WWE, expect to see more layers to his character and more moments that show the man behind the intimidating presence. His willingness to show respect to legends like the Boogeyman while still being one of the most dangerous competitors on the roster is exactly the kind of balance that creates lasting stars. He's proving that you can be both feared and respected, both powerful and personable. The Boogeyman's legacy grows stronger with each passing year as fans and current performers alike recognize the courage it took to fully embrace such an unusual character. His influence can be seen in every performer who takes creative risks, who commits completely to their character regardless of how strange it might seem. That influence was clearly felt by Jacob Fatu, whose respect for the Boogeyman was evident in every moment of their backstage reunion. Wrestling fans got exactly what they needed from this encounter, a reminder that the business they love is built on relationships, respect, and genuine human connection. Jacob Fatu and the Boogeyman gave everyone a moment of pure wholesomeness in an industry that can sometimes be harsh and competitive. Their smiles, their laughter, and their obvious affection for each other transcended any storyline or character work. This is why wrestling will always have the power to bring people together. Behind all the drama and the athletic competition, there are real people who respect each other's craft and celebrate each other's achievements. Jacob Fatu and the Boogeyman showed us that in the most beautiful way possible, and wrestling fans everywhere are better for having witnessed it. Make sure you subscribe to stay updated on all the latest wrestling news and the moments that make this business so special.